Alright, we made it to what I think is going to be one of the most productive spots in the river, and here in just a second I will show you why. This river is notoriously shallow. It's great for kayakers. There's no fast moving current, and a lot of it further upriver is only like maybe 18 inches deep when it's really shallow, which it is really shallow right now. But we found a cool spot with a rock wall coming down one side, so you know it's going to drop down deep there. But unfortunately we can't double that on the other side, so we have this mud bank that slopes down about 6 feet out. It's already 4 feet deep, so we're going to go for more than that, but obviously that narrows our choices as far as the river that we're in. So here in just a second I'll show you how we checked our depth, but first we're going to secure the first end of our line. This branch is still alive, it's still green. I think that's going to be my best bet. Alright, step one, complete. We did just recently decide we're probably going to remove the trolling motor for our purposes. We just don't really need it, and it's really in the way. Alright. Not yet, line, not yet. Okay. Step two. We're gonna get bricks, but for what we're doing, it's not really necessary. This river is not as deep as the Green River, so we have these great 3 and 4 ounce weights. They're gonna do just fine. Yes. All right. And this should keep our line from rolling up the bank. See, it's already 3 foot deep there, and we're just right on the bank. I love Kentucky rivers. These are such a freaking pain, dude. Alright. So here is our first assemblage. There we are. We're going to bait these when we come back. Where I want to put my sinkers, I made myself these handy little loops. Go through there just like we talked about yesterday. Pull it right through, and now I can take it off and move it if I end up hitting a snag, hitting a log, hitting a rock, whatever. Or if I just need to move my line. All kinds of stuff splashing around in here. There was a big splash over in the deep end where we're going to be running this. Alright, now we need to move away from the bank.
Okay.
Alright, we got our other end tied off. I do have room for I think a few more hooks over here on the deep side of the river, but I needed to know how much room I had because in the middle of the river we were sitting on our own line and I didn't know exactly how long it had gone. But I got really lucky. I actually made not only just enough trot line, but in order to tie this last end, we only had to tie on an extra 4 feet of line to get like a good wrap and a good knot. So
very
I did
nice.
it beautifully for never having entered this river. Not to brag, but I'm all done bragging because we don't even have bait on here yet, and my line's hung up. So we're gonna run it out and see what happens. Oh, I've got room for several more hooks. Oh, there it went. Alright. can actually tighten this line up. You can see how slack it is now. It's all part of the adjustment process. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna pull this right back over. And we're gonna put our last few hooks on. I thought I had another sinker. All right, Tio. Do we have one more of these with this double end on it?
You better freaking work, man.
Damn, that really is not designed to be your friend, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, we're running out of light fast. I wanted to take a moment to say my condolences to anybody who has had to suffer through these massive shortages that we're having right now. I work in a paint store full time, and we're having a huge paint shortage. I heard the other day that there is an orange juice shortage. I don't know if that's true or not, but we went to pick up some bait tonight. There's a bait shortage. So what are we using? Turkey neck. I've never fished with turkey neck. Not sure I even believe in it. But we're gonna see how it goes, because as of tonight, that was our only option. We were impatient. We wanted to get out here and get it done. I'm gonna skip this hook.
Bring it with you.
I've got way too much slack in this line. I'm actually gonna bait it from the other end first, because we've got to tighten this line way up. Can never be easy. All right, y'all.
It's starting to get dark too.
I know. This is gonna be our deepest hook. I don't know what to think about this turkey neck situation.
They'll eat it.
I mean, we could end up having like a new secret
Maybe.
thing, but it's so bony, it's really hard just to get the hook in it. Good Lord, this is worse than chicken neck. This is awful. Bill, if you're watching, buddy, I know you're laughing at me right now.
Let me try.
I actually just got to see my friend Bill. For those of you who don't know Bill, he's got the YouTube channel The Lone Moose. He was going through on a road trip and he stopped over to see me. And he left me some really cool stuff. Check this out.
Hey folks, Lone Moose here. I'm hanging out with Josh and Nina again. And those of you who don't know, or if you haven't seen it on her channels, this young lady is quite a talented artist. And as I was going through stuff, I ran across this buck saw. And I had just seen her video not too long before that where she had done some painting. So I asked her if she'd ever done saws or something. And she's, yeah, and I asked her if she'd be interested in doing this for me. Now this has got a lot of history behind it. I got this from from my dad a few years ago. This goes back to my great-grandfather, and he was born sometime in the 1870s in southeastern Pennsylvania. And sometime between then and 1907, when my grandfather was born, is when my great-grandfather got this saw. And so this thing is well over 100 years old. And the last time that I know of that it was ever used was around 1980 or 81 when Dad bought the property he has now back in West Virginia, close to his dad. And the two of them got out there and cut down a tree just so my grandfather could show Dad how this thing worked. I've never used it. You know, I'm a believer a chainsaw. Work smarter, not harder. But, you know, there's a lot of history between this. It's been in the family now for 4 generations. And with my moving up to Alaska, you know, I thought I'm going to send Nina some photos I've taken of sunsets and things up there and let her work her magic on this. Nina, Josh, here you go.
Thank you, sir.
It's about as tall as Nina, or about as long as Nina is tall. Earring height, or a little higher.
Put an extra hole in there.
That'd be a pretty big hole.
So there are logs in this river. All right, now we just have to run to the far side one more time. I've got 4 hooks on the line that are not baited because we just didn't have enough bait. But I'm gonna run down there, tighten my line, put my information on it, and we're gonna go home. Right there, you bounce it a little. And I'm gonna just let it down. And that should be perfect. All right, we are legal. Now, when I pulled the slack out of this line, it drug one of my baited hooks up too close to the bank, so for the 4th time, we're gonna run the line. I'm gonna move that hook down towards that deeper end. We're gonna get out of here and go home. Alright. Yes, that feels more like a trot line. Oh, you beauty! I don't know if she's gonna catch fish, but she sure looks good trying. We are going to do limb lines up the deep side of the river as well, but we are going to have to set those when we come back tomorrow to check this after work. Alright, y'all. Crooked Hinge's very first trout line set and baited. All right, we're back at the ramp, and it just occurred to me that I was going to show you guys how I check my depth, and I didn't. I don't want to leave you hanging. So it's a little complex. It took me a while to get the hang of this method. I've been perfecting it for years, actually. But what I did, I took a sinker, put it on the end of a string, and when I don't know how deep the water is, see how far it goes down.